Welcome to Monday Night Football Same Game Parlay powered by the Hammer Betting Network. Visit thehammer.bet for all of your sports betting content needs, from the sharp betting content to the recreational betting content. Pat Mayo is listed as out for this one. My name is Jacob, and I am going to be filling in just for this week, but I am joined by the ever-present Jason at Spreadopedia. How are you doing today, man?
Pretty good. Just got back, was traveling all weekend and getting ready for the upcoming week of football and baseball.
Wonderful. And we got some great baseball. We also have some great football tonight. Divisional matchup with the Raiders visiting the Chiefs. What we want to do on today's show is build a same game parlay for you guys, and hopefully we can crack a win. One thing I will mention, Pat Mayo mentioned it last week, you don't need to win every week on your same game parlays. We usually get some big odds here, but because I'm only filling in for 1 week, I would like to get a win here in my one appearance, and me and Jason are going to try to do that. Any initial thoughts on this matchup before we dive into the betting lines here?
I like a lot of the Patrick Mahomes props, over pass yards, over 279.5 pass yards, stuff like that, touchdowns. I think putting something together around Patrick Mahomes in this game is probably where I'd start. But there's a lot of props to look at in a game where you're expecting over 50 points on a primetime game.
Yeah, and we see a very high total in this one. Primetime games this season have really not been treating the neutral NFL fan with some very thrilling contests, even last night with the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. Not the highest scoring affair, though it may have been a little bit entertaining, I guess, because of the close scoreline. But we're expecting some points here today, and we got two teams here who do not defend the pass very well. They do typically fare well against the run, though I think the Chiefs, their numbers have been inflated after Leonard Fournette had negative yards last week, but we're going to see some passing plays here. So why don't we get started with Patrick Mahomes on this one? And you said you wanted to dive into some Patrick Mahomes passing props. So why don't we get started on that? Do you want to go over on some Patrick Mahomes numbers for this one?
Yeah, definitely want to go over to start with his passing props. But I want to look for something that's slightly negatively correlated with his over. And I think Travis Kelce, I need to look this up real quick, but I like Travis Kelce's yardage under at 74.5. I think that's a little high. Okay. I expect him to get a lot of receptions, but I don't know if he's going to get 75 yards.
So a little bit of negative correlation there, but why don't we just open it up right away with the passing props for Patrick Mahomes? Do we want to take on any gambles here? Do we want to kind of stick with a regular line of about two? It has 279.5 here on DraftKings, a little bit of juice there, or do we want to take on a bit of a risk and go up to 304.5?
Nah, I'd just go with the 279.5. Keep it simple.
All right, so we'll add that in. We'll move into receiving props. We'll go down to Travis Kelce receiving yards. And we want to just stick with we have a bit of juice on the 79.5. Do we want to take on something else, or do you want to just go maybe even 69.5 here, get some plus money on that?
Sure, we can go down to 69.5. I mean, you look at his last couple games, 4 games this season. Week 1, he had 121 yards. Week 2, he had 51 yards. Week 3, he had 58. And last week in the 41-31 game against Tampa, he had 10 targets, 9 receptions, 92 yards. He's also scored a touchdown every week this season, three receiving and 1 rushing. So I'm also interested in his anytime touchdown prop, even though we're going under on the yardage.
Yeah, and the Chiefs, the way they get creative in the red zone, obviously they love hitting Kelce. The odds show it, -170. We can toss that one in as well. I personally really like Travis Kelce to score a touchdown today. High-scoring game. I just think when that many points are going up, your number one target's going to get a lot of red zone targets. So we'll toss in Travis Kelce. Already puts us at +900. I would like to quickly ask you, though, the negative correlation on the Mahomes passing yards and the Kelce receiving yards. What are you thinking when you see that, though?
For me personally, I'm assuming that if I was the head coach of the Raiders and Josh McDaniels comes from the Bill Belichick coaching tree, so I'm just assuming here, but I tend to think that McDaniels schemes to take away the best players on the opposing team's offense. And when you're facing the Chiefs, the first thing you want to do is take away Travis Kelce and make Mahomes, develop something with the receivers or make them, work on the running game, etc. So I think you're still going to see a lot of targets to Kelce, but if I'm Josh McDaniels tonight, my number one goal is to take Kelce out of the game, as much as I can.
Yeah, would be very Belichick-like to make somebody else beat you rather than the number one guy. So
yeah, don't let the best player beat you.
Absolutely,
is the thing here.
And Belichick can be very stubborn with that. Is there anything else on the board that we liked from today? As I mentioned, Kansas give up the fewest rush yards per game. And again, I think that's a little bit inflated because Fournette last week had -3 rushing yards. You'd expect him to not do that typically, but maybe Josh Jacobs under on rush yards, or it's difficult because sometimes you think, are they adjusting the lines too much to that Kansas defense, or is it actually the real deal? Anything you're looking at in that department?
I do like your Josh Jacobs. I still think Brandon Jacobs when I see the Jacobs.
Hey, me too.
But yeah, we can go with an under there. An under. I want to go 64.5 -140 maybe. Add that to the 9-1. That takes us up to 14-1. That's not great, to be honest with you.
You want to go in a little bit deeper on this? So you wanted to go under, what was it, 64.5 on Jacobs?
Yeah, but the jump from adding a -140 and going from 9 to 14 isn't that exciting, because I've been learning more about the black box math behind some of these single game parlays, and sometimes you got to shop around. For example, like if you wanted to parlay this at FanDuel, you're going to get better odds adding that Josh Jacobs than you are at DraftKings. So sometimes I'm hesitant to take a bad number just because I want to add another leg. But so far, we got the Kelce anytime and his under and the Mahomes. I would like to add one more leg if possible.
Okay, let's look for one more leg then that maybe we think could be something fruitful to really get these numbers pumped up, really get the blood flowing with this Monday Night Football same game parlay. Maybe if we're expecting some points, we could add on a total here. We could look for another anytime touchdown score, something that we like on either side, just to kind of get it going as well in that department. Or even, if we're talking about maybe taking away the best option, we could look at some Devontae Adams unders on yards. He's had a pretty up and down season so far.
Yeah, I like that. Let's find something with Devontae Adams. He's been, I don't want to say disappointing, but definitely it's been a downgrade for Adams going from Green Bay to Las Vegas this year. So if we could find a nice under there, I would definitely like to add something.
Okay, we've got 79.5 yards that we could add in. That would kick us up to plus 1,700. We could also go for an under 69.5, which would bump us up all the way to plus 2,200. Either of those numbers kind of sticking out?
Yeah, I like. I'm trying to say, do I like 79? Do I like 69? I think I'd rather go 79 and give myself a little bit of a higher cushion here. 17 to 1, still a pretty good payout for a same game parlay on Monday night.
All right, so we've got Mahomes over 279.5 passing yards, Travis Kelce under 69.5 receiving yards. Also, Travis Kelce anytime touchdown score. A little bit of negative correlation here, but we've thought it through a little bit. We're also
negative correlation is good in it could be good in same game parlays because of the way the parlay engine prices things. You don't want everything correlated the same way. You're going to get bad odds bad odds if you're doing too much correlation.
So we'll run with that, and we'll also tack on Devontae Adams under receiving yards. Same rationale. Chiefs maybe looking to take him out of the game, make Derek Carr throw to other players, beat them in other ways. But for a high-scoring game, hey, this is what we're going to roll with. Anything else last minute we want to add on here, or are we good with this at plus 1,700?
I think we're good with this at 17. I mean, if there's anybody that you particularly like in a anytime touchdown score and you want to add them to this, it'll significantly raise the odds, especially if you're looking for somebody and you have a strong, like Jody Fortson, for example. All he does is catch touchdown passes. You add him 4.5 to 1, takes a 17 to what do we got there? 100, 110,
plus 11,000.
Yeah, so all it takes is adding another leg or two here. Maybe you like Patrick Mahomes to score a rushing touchdown. You add him. What's that going to take us? 90 or so? 100? Is that 160? It says.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you think Patrick Mahomes is going to score a rushing touchdown tonight? You want to add that?
You know what? Just because
160 to 1, we've significantly upped the odds 100 times.
I really, really like that 160 to 1 just by adding in Patrick Mahomes to sneak in a touchdown here. I think.
Yeah, I don't think that's crazy at all. I mean, we went from 17 to 1 to 160 to 1 by adding a plus 390 anytime touchdown scorer. And if you even wanted to go a little crazier, take the Patrick Mahomes anytime and turn it to a first touchdown.
First touchdown.
What's that going to?
Let's just see what we can get if we were to do that. We could get 500 to 1 odds if we were to do that.
500, and if you wanted to go to a 4-leg, wanted to do 4 legs, Kelsey anytime, Patrick Mahomes over 279.5 passing yards, Kelsey under 69.5 receiving yards, and Mahomes first touchdown scorer. That's 250 to 1. So, very quickly, we went from 9 to 1 to 17 to 1 to over 100 to 1 to 200 to 1 to 500 to 1. So you want to play around with the single game parlay engine. It can snowball very quickly.
Yeah, those numbers eye popping. Like when you're in Vegas, you see the bright lights, the bright signs, the neon signs. You can kind of get trapped in a little bit. That's what it kind of feels like to me.
Yeah, the first touchdown. That's how they get you. But
personally, I would really hate to lose this because Mahomes scores a touchdown, but it's not first. Unless you really are loving
No. Do the anytime. Of course, do the anytime here and keep. 500 to 1, 250 to 1. Those are 160 to 1, whatever. Those are all still huge odds.
Okay.
But if you're gonna bet $5 or $10 on these, bet $5 on this one and bet $5 on Mahomes with the first touchdown, and you can you can split your bets up and do these. You don't have to bet tons of money on these, but the payouts will snowball quickly.
We wouldn't advise you put in tons of money on these. I wouldn't think, but
no, I wouldn't. I see the board. The board just started lighting up for me. Did it just start moving for you?
Oh yeah, actually, while we're live here, Travis Kelce anytime. I don't know if it's changed. It was minus 170 initially.
Yeah, now it's at minus 135.
Okay. But we still have the plus 160. I'm not sure if that is the same. And Mahomes has gone up to plus 475 as well.
Yeah, so.
Okay, well, we've still got the plus 160. Do we want to keep Davante Adams involved here as well? Or we want to just go with the 4-leg here? Let's just see what it would look like. So if we took out Davante Adams plus 6,500, 65 to 1. I kind of like keeping Davante Adams in there, getting that real big payout at 160 to 1. And I'm pretty content with the 5 that we have here.
Just jumped from 65 to 1 to what, 150, 160?
160, yeah.
Yeah, so it's very risky, but I think this is a fun 5-leg same game parlay for Monday night. I will be betting this myself.
And I will be betting this myself as well. I wouldn't want to miss out on this one. So to wrap it up, we've got Mahomes over 279.5 passing yards, Travis Kelce under 69.5 receiving yards, Davante Adams under 79.5 receiving yards, along with the Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce anytime touchdown. We get 160 to 1 odds. So kind of going off what I was saying earlier, it's my one appearance on this show, it seems, and I kind of want to get a win. But we're going to have some fun. And if the one show I appear on gets a win at these odds, I think I got to go down in the Hall of Fame. So we'll hope for that tonight. But from here, at the Single Game Parlay. Thank you so much for watching this one. Visit thehammer.bet for all of your sports betting content needs. Make sure you are subscribed to this channel. Jason will be back on Monday. Hopefully, Pat Mayo will be back in action for that one. You can check out the Same Game Parlay again there. So make sure you subscribe to check everything out and everything else at thehammer.bet. Thank you again, guys. We'll see you next week.